You survive. You endure the challenges, the pressures, the expectations, and the constant threat of not being enough. You make it to the other side, and everyone tells you that you're one of the lucky ones. But they don't know about the spider, a phantom that isn't even real, but that you can feel crawling in the corners of your own bedroom. Every single night, the crisis you thought was left behind has followed you home, and the most dangerous struggle is the one that you can't see. It's a strange thing feeling hunted in the one place that you're supposed to feel safe. A home can be a quiet neighborhood where the biggest threat is the storm rolling through, but inside your mind, it's a different turmoil that can still be raging. The silence, the night isn't peaceful. It's heavy, filled with anticipation of a catastrophe that never even comes. Every creak in the floor, every rustle of leaves outside is a potential threat. The body is home, but the nervous system is still on high alert, still scanning for dangers that rational the mind that aren't even there. This constant state of high alert is a heavy burden known as anxiety, trauma, or even post-traumatic stress. Research shows that young adults today report high rates of anxiety and depression. In 2022, the survey said 36% of young adults reported anxiety and 29% reported depression. But a number on a page doesn't capture what it's truly like to have your own mind turned completely against you. It doesn't describe the bone deep exhaustion of being perpetually on guard. And it definitely doesn't explain the spider in the room. The spider is the brain's way of giving a name to a nameless fear. It is a physical target for the invisible wounds that we carry. It is a lie, but the body tells us in the mind. A lie that can feel more real than the bed that you're even lying in. And for years, many of us believe it. See, before this mental intrusion, before the darkness, so many are just looking for a path, a challenge, a way to be a part of something bigger than themselves. There can be an idealism to it all. And we are taught how to be strong, how to achieve, how to perform, and how to follow the rules, how to survive. We are forged into something new, something bigger, something different. Our senses are sharpened, our instincts are honed. We're taught to react and not feel, to push through the pain, ignore fear, and always put the goal first. In preparation for life, it's as a goal-oriented to build us to withstand the fire that comes within life. Then the storm actually hits, and the fire is real. Nothing can truly prepare you for it. The pressure hits first, a weight so oppressive it feels like it's trying to suffocate you. It's a dry, dusty heat, a stress that gets into everything, your lungs, your eyes, your spirit. The world becomes 100 shades of gray, a monochrome landscape stretching to a shimmering horizon. But it's the internal sounds and feelings that really rewire the brain. The constant hum of anxiety, the crackle of self-doubt, the sudden gut-wrenching roar of panic, the smell of burnout, sweat, and metallic tang of fear in the air is always on crisis. See, for some, the storm is a sudden job loss, a scary diagnosis for themselves or a loved one, or the aftermath of a car accident that keeps replaying in your mind. The threat is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's in the car that cuts you off in traffic. It's buried underneath a pile of bills. It's in the critical words that rain down without warning. 1 minute, you're just living your life normally. The next, you're reeling as the world erupts in chaos. You learn to live with this constant low-level anxiety. You learn to tell the difference between the door slamming and the distant imagined disaster that may be about. The body learns to be ready, always. Some find strength and faith, recalling words like, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever," says Psalm 73:26. That conditioning, that the mindset that's supposed to help you succeed works for a while. Hypervigilance keeps you on your toes, treating every minor problem like a potential catastrophe keeps you from being blindsided. But living that way, day in and day out, changes you. It has to, because your coiled spring is 24/7. Your brain literally creates new shortcuts, new pathways designed for one thing: survival in a hostile world. What they don't tell you is that those pathways don't just vanish when the crisis passes. You can take the person out of the storm, but you can't take away the storm out of the person. Yes, coming back to your normal is bizarre. One day you're in crisis, the next day you're in Walmart. The shift is so abrupt, it gives you a whiplash of the soul. People see you and say, "I'm so glad things are better for you now." And it's good to see you're back on your feet. And you are, but you're only physically okay. But you don't feel okay. The world is too loud and too quiet at the same time. The wide open space of a grocery aisle can feel threatening. A car backfiring down the street can send a jolt of fire, pure adrenaline through you, heart pounding, palms sweating, before your brain even knows what even happened. Family and friends may try to understand. They see you different, more irritable, more withdrawn. Small things that never would have even bothered you before now cause you to be angry. They see the behavior, checking the locks on the doors, scanning the faces in the crowd as if you're looking for a threat. They see the behavior, but they can't see the reason. They can't see the spider in the room. The spider is a nightly visitor. As soon as the lights go out, they show up. The show begins. A tingle in the air, a phantom sensation, and the eyes snap open. You scan the ceiling, the corners of the room, heart hammering against your ribs. Logically, you know there's nothing there, but a rewired nervous system screams that there is. It is a physical manifestation of a hypervigilance that once kept you safe during the storm. Back then, being always watchful was a lifesaver, but back home, it's a curse. You're exhausted, but afraid to sleep. Sleep is when the nightmares come, replaying the worst moments of your life, the failures, the sounds, the fear, waking up from a nightmare, screaming and covered in sweat, only to find yourself in a quiet darkness of your own room. It's a special kind of hell. For a long time, many just assume that this is the new reality. This is what it means to be a survivor. You're stuck. You suck it up and keep going. That's what we're taught. You don't complain. You don't show weakness. But some are reminded that we are not meant to carry our burdens alone. The problem is you can't suck it up. A wound that is in your soul, the longer you try, the more it festers. The isolation grows. You feel like that no one could possibly understand what you're going through. You start pulling away from people that you love most, not because that you want to, but because you feel like a different species, an alien in your own home. At rock bottom isn't always some big dramatic event. It can be a slow grinding erosion of who you truly are. It's seeing the confusion in a loved one's eyes when you lash out over nothing. It's realizing your children are starting to walk on eggshells around you. It's looking in the mirror one morning and not recognizing the hollowed out, haunted person staring back. This isn't who you want to be. That's when the real opponent comes into view. The opponent isn't some ghost from the past. It isn't a phantom spider, but the opponent is the silence. It's pride. It's the belief that this battle has to be fought all by yourself. The struggle isn't over. It has just gone underground, and you're losing. This is the fight for your soul. And as the scripture says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken, says Ecclesiastes 4:12. It cannot be won alone. Yes, in our culture, they teach you that courage is being fearless. It's facing a threat and never showing that you're hurt. But the bravest thing anyone can do is often not on a battlefield or in the boardroom. The single most courageous act can be admitting these simple words: I need help. For many of us, those words can feel like a total failure. They go against every instinct to appear strong and self-reliant. We're the problem solver, the strong ones. We're not supposed to be the ones who need saving. That stigma, the fear of it all, being seen as weak or broken, is a wall that keeps so many trapped in their own private hells. That wall can start to crumble in a quiet moment. No big fight, no single catalyst, just sitting at a kitchen table, staring into a cup of coffee, feeling that familiar dread of the day ahead. Worn out from another night fighting the spider, a loved one might come and sit across from you. They don't say a word. They just put their hands on yours. And in that simple, quiet moment of connection, something inside breaks. Not in a bad way, but like a dam breaking, letting out all the pressure that's been building up for years. You look at them, and for the first time, you don't try to hide. You let them see all of it. The fear, the exhaustion, the defeat. You tell them about the spider. You tell them about the nightmares. You tell them that you feel like you're losing your mind, that you're losing yourself. And then you say 3 words: I need help. Yes, that is the decision. That is the turning point. It isn't surrender. It's a start of taking back control. Proverbs 12:15 says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. This is the moment to stop being a fool in your own eyes and start assembling a team for the fight that's ahead. Making that choice is the first step on a long one, hard road. It can lead to a pastor and then to a counselor's office. For some, finding a biblical-based counselor is key, but the principle is universal. At first, it's natural to be skeptical. How could this person possibly understand what I'm going through? It's a common feeling, but therapy isn't about the other person having the exact experiences. It's about them having the tools to help you navigate your own. It's about having a safe place to unpack all the baggage that you've been carrying, one piece at a time, knowing that in a multitude of counsel there is safety, says Proverbs 11:14. Yes, there's no magic cure for this invisible wound. There's no switch that can just be flipped off and your memories erased. Healing isn't a destination, but it's a new journey that has to be accepted day in and day out. That work often involves counseling. It involves connecting with trusted friends or even a support group, sitting in a room with others who will say, just get it, without having to explain. Everything can be life-changing. Their burdens can be shared honestly, as Galatians 6:2 instructs, and accountability can be found. People become each other's support, making sure no one is left standing watch alone in the dark. It also means finding a new purpose after a crisis. A sense of direction can be gone, leaving one feeling adrift. Part of healing is discovering those experiences, even the most painful ones, can be used to help others. As it says in Romans 8:28, and as we know that for those who love God, all things work together for the good, for those who are called according to his purpose. A new purpose can become a sharing a story, breaking the silence, and fighting the stigma that can be so destructive. Life is different now. Yes, it is. It's a new normal. The spider isn't gone completely. Some nights when you're tired or stressed, you can still feel a faint echo of it in the corner of the room, but it doesn't have to be a power over you anymore. Now there are tools. You can turn on the lights. You can use breathing techniques. You can talk to loved ones. You can call a friend from a support group. The spider is part of the story, but it's no longer the entire story. The wounds of your soul are real, but these wounds don't have to be a life sentence. They're a path forward. It's a path built on the courage to be vulnerable, the strength to ask for help, and the fellowship of those who have walked in a similar road. We must be willing to live fully, and that means fighting for your own peace, for our families, for our life purpose, as God has promised us in Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteousness right hand. This story isn't unique. In the United States, more than 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year. And for the same reasons, many wait. A large number of them haven't sought treatment even. If you're a young person or anyone that sounds like, and this story sounds like your story, if you're fighting your own spider, please know that you're not alone. This struggle doesn't have to be one that you face in silence. Making the call for help is a sign of strength. It's the bravest thing that you can ever do for your own life. The most important decision that you'll ever make. You can call or text the crisis line by calling 988. But don't stop there. Talk to a pastor, a parent, a youth leader, a trusted friend. Seek out a professional counselor. There are people who understand and resources to help you find them. Taking that step is how you start to win the struggle of the mind. For everyone else, thank you for listening. Understanding is the first line of defense against the isolation that so many feel. By learning about these invisible wounds, you can help build a bridge of compassion. If this was helpful, please consider liking and sharing it. You never know who might need to hear this. Subscribing helps also keep us and others raising awareness. A crisis from the past may follow you home, but the real fight for your soul begins in your own bedroom. It's a fight many are in, but today they are not fighting alone. God promised He would not leave us nor forsake us, and many are still fighting, but let's keep the fighting together to unify each other as one. And until next week, take care, my friends. Take care, my family. And I'll see you again next week, Monday at 6 p.m. And God bless.